Hello, ladies. I'm just doing a brief little tutorial on the intervention that you're going to be implementing with either third or fourth grade. So interventions are going to be 30 minutes long on Tuesdays and Thursdays because we can only pull during dyad. The group that you're going to be working with is still a high needs group, but not as high needs as our kiddos that need to actually learn how to read. So you guys are going to be actually doing something called Read Naturally. So I wrote up a quick routine for it. It's the same thing every day. You'll work on one story for the week. So one story for the week, and they look like this. They're leveled. So like this is level 2.0. One of the groups is going to work with 2.0. Another group is going to do 1.5. And that's grade level. So 2.0 is early second grade. 1.5 is middle of your first grade. So there's short passages, and there's some vocabulary, and students are able to make a prediction. And then on the back, there's comprehension questions and an opportunity for them to write a summary, practice retelling. So I wrote up a routine. So basically, at the beginning of each passage, you're going to read the title together, talk about what you think it's about. Actually, pause. Don't talk about what you think it's about. Go through the keywords, and then kids are going to use the title, the keywords, and the picture to make a prediction about what they think the story is going to be about. So after you've gone through the keywords, you've gone over the title, then kiddos are going to take the time to write a prediction. I predict that, and then they fill in the blank. You can teach them what a prediction is if they don't already know. I'm pretty sure they should. But maybe not. So then you're going to go ahead and move through the routine. So the next step on it is hold on, let me pull it up. So they've made a prediction. Then you're going to partner the students up in your group and have them conduct a cold read. So that means that's their first time reading it. They've never seen it before. And the way a cold read works is you're going to have a timer. I'll make sure that the intervention cart has a little timer in it, and you'll set the timer for a minute. One partner will read while the other person tracks on their paper any errors that they made. So I got to back up a second. Before you do the cold read, make sure kids write their name on their paper, and they're going to switch papers before they do their cold read so that they can mark errors on the paper of the student who's reading, if that makes sense. So one kid's going to read, the partner's going to mark the errors on that kid's paper that's reading. Then when the timer's off, they'll put a little bracket around the last word that was read, and then take a little bit of time to help them figure out how many words that kid read for that cold read. And then each kiddo is going to get a graph like this. And so they're going to graph their cold read score. So right here down at the bottom, it says there's the story goal. So right in the first box, you can put the number of the story, right? So this first story would be number 1. They could put number 1 in the first box and then their goal underneath it after they've graphed their cold read, right? So they're going to go number of words here and graph it with blue. And I'm going to make sure there's blue and red pencils in the intervention cart. So they'll graph their cold read with blue, and then they'll set themselves a goal for what they want to get to for their hot read. Okay, so in that second gray box right underneath where it says story goal, so you can put the number of the story on top and then their goal right below it. And then just below that, there's a place for them to actually write in how many words, how many errors they made, right? So it says words read on top. That's the total words read minus the errors that they made, and then their actual score, right? So when the kiddos are calculating the cold read score, they're going to put a bracket around the last word they read. They're going to figure out how many total words were read, put that on their graph, and then put the number of errors. So however many words are crossed off, mistakes they made, they put those on the graph too, and then do a little bit of math and subtract the number of errors from the total words read to get their actual number of words read, okay? If that doesn't make sense, please email me, ask me questions. I will not hesitate to help you with this. Like, I want to be as supportive as I can in all of this. So if you're like, what in the world did you just say? Please reach out. I will help you. It will also make sense as you move through it. And it will become a routine because you do the same thing every time. So then after the cold read, you're going to do, hold on, let me double check and make sure I'm doing the right thing. So after the cold read, you're going to do a second read. And the second read is a choral read where all the kids are going to read together. and they're reading for expression. So you're going to have them tap their pencil for every punctuation mark. So if there's a comma, they're going to tap their pencil and pause. If there's a period, they're going to tap their pencil and pause. So you're reading for proper expression so that they're not like blitzing through the whole thing and not stopping, because kids tend to do that when they're trying to get as many words as possible, but that gets in the way of their comprehension. So focusing on expression for the second read. And then after that second read, you're going to pause and turn to the back and answer question number 1 and 2 for the comprehension questions. And you can do these together, or you can let them work on them independently, however you want to do it. And then they're going to turn back to the front and they're going to do a third read, which is another choral read. They're going to read all together, but this time you're focusing on accuracy. So if they get to a word and they're like, I don't know how to say that word, I don't know what that word is, you stop. Make sure everyone knows how to say that word. So we're focusing on accuracy the third time, that they're reading all the words correctly. So then after the third read, you'll flip back again and answer a couple more questions, 3 and 4, because there's 4 questions. And then after that, they're going to do their hot read. Okay, so they've read it 3 times now. I'm taking a video. Can you come back in 5 minutes? Okay. After they do question number 3 and 4, they're going to go back and they're going to do their hot read. So they're going to switch papers again. This is their time where they're like, oh my gosh, I still don't know how to say that word. Help me say that word. They're practicing like getting all the words right this time because they really want to improve their score. So they'll switch papers again, set a timer for a minute. Each partner reads, tracks their errors, and then they'll go back and graph their hot read score just below the cold read. And they'll do the exact same thing, total words read minus the errors, put their score, and then they'll color it just above. So you can see there's an example right here. They do their cold read on the bottom, and then they use the same exact column to do their hot read, to really show like, oh my gosh, look how much I grew. And they can see if they met their goal, celebrate, all that good stuff. And then after they've done their hot read, you can have them work on their summary. Okay, so they're going to write a retell. There's also a constructed response question. If you have time for this, they can do that as well. And then they're going to retell the story. In first grade, I teach my kids the 5-finger retell. So the first, your thumb is the setting. Where did the story take place? The second finger is characters. And then beginning, middle, and end. So you can teach them that as well. 5-finger retell. Use that in your writing. Where did it take place? Who are the characters? What happened in the beginning, middle, and end? And you can teach them temporal words, all that stuff. I know you guys are not ELA teachers, so it's totally okay. Have fun with it. Utilize background knowledge. Ask them what they know. Man's best friend. What do you think that means? Oh, there's a picture of a dog. Why do you think dogs are man's best friend? Like, have them access prior knowledge, help try and engage them in the story, and just make it fun. Yeah, it's 30 minutes twice a week, and hopefully we can really see some improvement with this. If you have a group of kids and you're like, these passages are way too easy for these kids, I will level them up. I can go to 3.0, 3.5, whatever. Or if you're like, they can't even get through the first sentence of this, then I can level them down. I don't work with these third and fourth graders. I'm just looking at data. So I'm trying my best to make decisions based on what I know and based on my experience. So if you pass these out and they're like, what? Then, we can reevaluate. So please give me feedback, ask questions, make comments, whatever. But that's that for Read Naturally. You'll start to hit a groove because it will be the same every day. The kids will get used to it. But hopefully they'll start to feel successful. Like, oh my gosh, I just read that whole passage by myself, and they'll get to see their growth, and it'll be really neat, especially visually with their graphs. I think that's all I have. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks. Bye.